Courtroom entity. For those of you who don't know, I work at a county jail. Over the past decade or so I've been employed. I have seen some strange things and have shared some of them here. A running joke amongst us veterans is that when a rookie says they don't believe in ghosts, we tell them you will. This most recent encounter happened a few weeks ago. In a part of the building there is a room that used to be a courtroom. A few years ago the county did a remodel and built a new one, so this old one is mostly used for storage. A few boxes of office supplies stacked on benches that are bolted to the floor and whatnot. The thing that most of the staff don't remember is that the courtroom has a bathroom in the back nearest the door. Most of us veterans will use that one since it is quiet and we keep it pretty clean. The courtroom is always kept dark for the most part since we enter the room and walk right to the bathroom. But there is still light coming through the window of the door, so it's light enough you can still somewhat see. There's just never a real need to turn on the light, and the switch is on the opposite wall of the bathroom anyway. The other week I was working the night shift and went into the courtroom to use the bathroom. I did what I had to do, and when I stepped out of the bathroom, the light from the open door lit up the room. That's when I saw a figure sitting on one of the benches near the front facing away from me. The bathroom door shut, leaving the room dark, but I could still make out the shape of a person. I took my flashlight off my belt and shined it in the direction of the figure. My first thought was that somebody had seen me go into the courtroom and was trying to mess with me. In the light, I could see the back of a man's head with brown hair. I said, "Hey," with no response. I double-pressed the button on my flashlight to turn on the strobe, which can be pretty disorienting, thinking that would get whoever this was attention. As the light turned off and turned back on to begin to strobe, the figure was gone. I walked across the room and flipped on the main light and again saw nobody. I even checked under the benches. I approached the spot where the figure was sitting and placed my hand on the wooden bench. It felt warm, like somebody had been sitting there. I turned the light off and exited the room. The next morning, I asked my boss, who has been at the jail since it was built in the mid-1980s. He's a cool guy, down to earth and not prone to flights of fancy. But like I said earlier, the longer you work in this kind of place, you see things. When I asked him about the old courtroom, he said that he had never personally seen anything in there. But back when it was actively used for court, the court officers would come in the morning and say that things would be moved. Papers on the floor, a pen holder knocked over, things like that. He said that when they finally put cameras in the room, the activity stopped. But now that it wasn't used for its intended purpose, the cameras were removed. It didn't surprise him that things were happening again. For me, I always double-check now when I go into that room, and I always turn on the lights beforehand.